This time, we asked these 5 AIs, who clearly know their football, to decide who was the greatest goalkeeper for each of these clubs, based solely on what they achieved with the team. Let's see the AI's decision. We start with Manchester City. Grok voted for Bert Trautmann. He's considered the greatest goalkeeper in City's history for his legendary impact during the 1950s and 60s, where he played over 500 matches and maintained a high level of consistency for 15 seasons. He famously won the FA Cup in 1956 despite suffering a broken neck, an iconic match that immortalized him. DeepSeek's opinion was different. It voted for Ederson, saying that although Joe Hart was a symbol of the previous era and won 2 Premier Leagues, Ederson is the goalkeeper who has defined a new era. His impact on Pep Guardiola's possession-based system and ball distribution is irreplaceable. He was key to winning multiple Premier Leagues and the historic treble in 2023. But Luchat had a third name, Joe Hart. He was the big figure between the posts during the first winning cycle of the modern City. He won 2 Premier Leagues, was a 4-time Golden Glove winner in England, and his leadership in a still-developing defense was vital. 3 different names. But ChatGPT and Gemini voted for Joe Hart. He is the historic best goalkeeper of Manchester City, according to AI. So what did they say about Borussia Dortmund? The truth is, it was unanimous. Roman Weidenfeller. A true Dortmund icon, he guarded the net for over a decade, was key in the Bundesliga titles of 2011 and 2012, and in the run that took the club to the 2013 Champions League final. His consistency and leadership make him the most important goalkeeper in Dortmund's history. So the AI chose him as their clear favorite for Dortmund's goal. And for Atlético de Madrid, it wasn't much different. All the AIs picked the same player, Jan Oblak. He's the greatest goalkeeper in Atlético's history thanks to his consistency since 2014, with more than 300 appearances and clean sheet records in La Liga. He won a league title, a Europa League, and a UEFA Super Cup, where his decisive saves in finals and key matches, including penalty saves, were crucial. Jan Oblak is the best goalkeeper in Atlético's history according to AI. We move on to Arsenal, and it seems the AIs weren't in the mood to argue today. They all voted for David Seaman. He was the definition of reliability during Arsenal's golden 90s. He won 3 league titles, 4 FA Cups, and was vital in their 1994 Cup Winners' Cup triumph. His longevity and consistency put him above Jens Lehmann. So, David Seaman takes the spot according to AI. For PSG, there was a bit of debate. Grok and DeepSeek said, Keylor Navas. They admitted it's a controversial choice, but based on his impact in decisive moments. Keylor Navas arrived at PSG with the experience of 3 Champions League titles and was fundamental in finally taking the club to its first ever final in 2020. But Luchat disagreed and voted for Bernard Lama. Lama was the goalkeeper who defined the 90s era, leading PSG to win League One in 1994, several domestic cups, and the 1996 Cup Winners' Cup. While more recent goalkeepers like Keylor Navas were decisive in the Champions League, Lama left an unforgettable legacy among Parisian fans as the symbol of the first PSG side to truly compete in Europe. ChatGPT and Gemini agreed, both voting for Bernard Lama. He takes the title of best goalkeeper in PSG history. And now we move to England with Chelsea. Once again, all the AIs said the same name, Petr Cech. An absolute icon, he won 4 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, and was the hero of the 2012 Champions League, saving a crucial penalty from Robben and stopping 2 more in the shootout against Bayern. He's the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets in the club's history and an undisputed legend at Stamford Bridge, far above names like Courtois or Bonetti. Without question, Petr Cech is Chelsea's greatest goalkeeper. Now we move on to Ajax, and Google's AI chose Edwin van der Sar. He was vital in their glorious 1995 Champions League triumph, keeping the goal safe for one of the greatest generations in the club's history. He won 4 league titles with Ajax and left a legacy as a modern, elegant goalkeeper. His historical impact and European success put him above others like Onana or Stanley Menzo. None of the other AIs could argue with the choice. Van der Sar takes the title of Ajax's greatest goalkeeper according to AI. For Inter Milan, the story wasn't much different. Grok named Walter Zenga. He is considered the best goalkeeper in Inter's history thanks to 12 seasons of consistency from 1982, winning a Serie A, a Super Cup, and 3 UEFA Cups, with records of clean sheets and unforgettable saves in iconic matches. His legacy as one of the greatest is indisputable, surpassing Julio Cesar, who was key in the 2010 treble but didn't have the same longevity. Zenga's consistency and historical impact weigh more than goalkeepers with brief peaks of excellence. And in truth, all the AIs agreed. Walter Zenga takes the title of Inter's best goalkeeper. Back to England now, and for Liverpool, Grok voted for Ray Clemence. He is regarded as the greatest goalkeeper in the club's history, with 14 seasons of excellence starting in 1967. Clemence won 5 league titles, 3 European Cups, and multiple domestic trophies, setting records for clean sheets and making decisive saves in European finals that defined the Paisley era. The Chinese AI backed this choice, giving him the second vote. But things got interesting when Gemini said, Alisson Becker. Despite the greatness of Ray Clemence and Bruce Grobbelaar in Liverpool's history, Alisson is considered the most decisive and complete goalkeeper the club has ever had. His arrival marked a turning point, as his reliability and ability to build play from the back allowed Jurgen Klopp to implement his defensive system effectively. Le Chat supported this view and also voted for Alisson. Everything came down to ChatGPT, and although it was a tough decision, it said Ray Clemence. He takes the title of Liverpool's greatest goalkeeper. So, what did they say about AC Milan? Gemini went with Dida. It said the choice was difficult, since Milan has had legendary goalkeepers like Lorenzo Buffon and Sebastiano Rossi. However, Dida deserves the title. The Brazilian keeper was the guardian of the goal during one of the club's most successful and glorious eras, the Carlo Ancelotti team. Dida won 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, a Serie A title, and the Club World Cup. But Le Chat disagreed and chose Sebastiano Rossi. He was the man between the posts during Milan's glorious 1990s era. Rossi held the record for the longest unbeaten streak in Serie A history, 929 minutes, until 2016. He was the starting goalkeeper in the 1994 Champions League final when Milan crushed Barcelona 4-0. While Dida and Abbiati also had key moments in Europe, Rossi's consistency and records make him the most representative. Here, Grok, ChatGPT, and DeepSeek all agreed, voting for Rossi. He takes the title of Milan's greatest goalkeeper. Now let's move on to Juventus. And yes, there were no doubts. The vote went to Gianluigi Buffon, an eternal Juventus icon. Buffon won 10 league titles, reached multiple Champions League finals, and holds the record for the most appearances in the club's history, as well as the all-time record for consecutive unbeaten minutes in Serie A with 974. His leadership, longevity, and quality make him not only Juventus's greatest goalkeeper, but also one of the greatest in football history. He surpasses even Dino Zoff in terms of direct impact with the club. Gianluigi Buffon is crowned the best goalkeeper in Juve's history. Let's move over to Germany, and we continue with Bayern Munich. Grok was quick to say it. Manuel Neuer is the greatest goalkeeper in Bayern's history. Across his 13 seasons since 2011, Neuer revolutionized the position with his distribution and iconic saves in finals like 2020, while winning 11 Bundesligas, 2 Champions Leagues, and a Club World Cup. His legacy as a global reference surpasses even Oliver Kahn or Sepp Maier. But ChatGPT went with another name, Sepp Maier. The symbol of Bayern in the 1970s, he won 4 Bundesligas and 3 consecutive European Cups, 1974 to 1976. Nicknamed the Cat from Anzing, he was an absolute idol. And although Oliver Kahn left a huge mark in the modern era, Maier represents the foundation of Bayern as a European powerhouse, which keeps him as the historic number 1. Here's where it got interesting. Gemini supported ChatGPT's choice and voted for Maier, while DeepSeek backed Grok and gave its vote to Neuer. It all came down to the French AI, which voted for Manuel Neuer. The German takes the title of Bayern Munich's greatest goalkeeper. We arrive in Spain, and let's talk about Barcelona. Grok said Victor Valdés. He is the most successful goalkeeper in the history of FC Barcelona, with 12 high-level seasons from 2002, winning 6 La Liga titles, 3 Champions Leagues, and multiple domestic cups. And although Zubizarreta was historic in the 1990s, Valdés had a more decisive impact on the club's biggest trophies. But he wasn't the only name mentioned. Le Chat went with Marc-Andre ter Stegen. who combined consistency, titles, and a style that fit perfectly with the club's philosophy. Arriving in 2014, he was decisive right from his first season, helping secure the treble and starring in the 2015 Champions League with key saves in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final. However, DeepSeek disagreed with both and voted for Andoni Zubizarreta. He was the great guardian of the goal during Johan Cruyff's era. Joining Barcelona in 1986, he became a silent leader. With him in goal, the club enjoyed its first golden age. 4 consecutive La Liga titles between 1991 and 1994, and most importantly, the club's very first European Cup in 1992 at Wembley. 3 different names, and it all came down to ChatGPT and Gemini, who both voted for Victor Valdés. He takes the title of Barcelona's greatest goalkeeper. But at Manchester United, the story was different. All the AIs voted for the same player, Peter Schmeichel. He was the guardian of the goal during Ferguson's golden era in the 1990s, winning 5 Premier League titles and the 1999 Champions League, where he was vital in the final against Bayern. And although Van der Sar consolidated the club's second golden age, Schmeichel is considered the greatest goalkeeper in the history of United for his influence and leadership. He clearly takes the title of United's best goalkeeper. And finally, we arrive at Real Madrid. Groch said Iker Casillas. He clarified that the debate about the greatest Real Madrid goalkeeper comes down to 2 titans, Iker Casillas and Paco Bullo. However, Casillas takes the spot because of his global impact and achievements. Casillas spent 16 seasons with the first team, winning 5 La Liga titles and 3 UEFA Champions Leagues, becoming a crucial figure in the era of the Galáctico. None of the AIs disagreed. Every single one said Iker Casillas. He completes the list of the greatest goalkeepers for each club. What do you think of these choices? Leave it in the comments and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one with more than football.